Hey there, welcome back. This video is going to be about how we wrap up the telemetry module and the receiver, and where we're going to place them in the aircraft now that we have the other things in there. So I had to do some experimentation to figure out the best way to do this. So what I've decided is that each of these will get a wrap of the white foam that we used for the wrapping the battery, but it's just a small little piece. And I have this other Velcro here. This is a thicker Velcro, bigger loops, bigger hooks, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the receiver module first. So the receiver looks like that. I want to leave these open in case I need to plug and unplug stuff, because not everything's plugged in, like the rudder, elevator, and so forth. So I'm going to wrap this. Around it like this. I want the antenna out. So I want the antenna sticking out. So I'm going to sort of double cover it like that. Okay. And then I'm going to take the piece of Velcro and hold that in place. Wrap it around. And that Velcro, you get it good and tight, it's not going to go anywhere. And so what I'm going to do is stick this on the side of the airplane. I've got a large roll of the hook side, and this is industrial, they call it industrial grade Velcro, but it's a big wide 2-inch piece. So I'm going to cut a nice big piece off of that and stick it on the side of the airplane, on the other side of where the switch is installed, and that should be a good spot. So I'm going to wrap this one. I'm going to do the same thing with the telemetry module. Wrap it. Dropping it. Okay, so those two are wrapped. I got room to get to all the wires, and this little plug here on the telemetry module is for a GPS. So if I want to plug my GPS unit in, I can do that. And so that's how I'm going to wrap these. And next I'm going to cut a piece of this off and go over to the airplane and see how they fit. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back here behind the camera, and I have my receiver and my telemetry module. And looking at where all the wires go, this one is probably the most limiting, in the sense that this is the sensor for the temperature gauge, and that needs to go on to this Y connector. This little Y connector here. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. And remembering that it's directional, got to figure out which way to turn it. And it's got to turn up this way and go in right like that. So that's going to probably determine that the telemetry module is going to go on this side, which also means that the receiver is probably going to go on this side. So let's plug everything in first. Okay. Here we've got the rudder, and this is why I like to have everything marked. Okay. The rudder channel is right next to power channel. Let's plug that in, black wire down. Okay, he's in place. Elevator's next to that. Okay, and last but not least is the throttle. Where's the throttle channel? There it is. Throttle channel is over here by the telemetry module wire, and there we go. Everybody's got a home. Alright, so now let me see what I can do to straighten out this mess of wires and get a tie wrap. So I'll be back with a tie wrap. Okay, after looking at this mess of wires for a few minutes, I've decided not to use any tie wraps. All the channels are in place. These are the two for the ailerons. I'm going to just hang them out there. There's the receiver right there, and he's going to go there. The telemetry module is going to sit right there with its antenna this way. The satellite antenna is going to be back there somewhere. So I think I will just go ahead and put a couple of the hook part of the Velcro and stick these down. So first one's going to go right here underneath the receiver module, and once you put this down you don't want to move it, so I'm going to put it down, get it in the right place, and say that's where you're going to be. And let's do the same thing for the other one. So there's the two strips of hooks. You're going to go right there. And now that those are in place, put all the wires sort of up here on top. The battery I'm going to hook in a little later. There's a debate in my head going on about how strong that battery needs to be, because I don't want it in, inverted flight to falling out, so I've got to think about that a minute. But the last thing I want to do is get the satellite antenna, because this antenna here is oriented in this direction. I would like the other antenna oriented on the bottom down there. So I may have to go get a pair of forceps to put that in place. Hold on a minute. Okay, I've made a mark on the bottom of the cabin down there where I want the satellite antenna to be. This ought to be interesting. I got a nice pair of tweezers and it's stuck to the corner. So I'm going to try to put that down there. Okay. Hopefully by putting a pair of forceps on it, it'll stay. Okay. I'm going to take the forceps and just rub that, push that Velcro down nice and tight. Okay. Then the reason I'm doing this is because I want the satellite antenna oriented in a different direction. I want it oriented this way, and because that one's oriented this way. So this will just go down there like that. And let me use these forceps to sort of get him where I want. And although he's not exactly where I want, I'm going to see if I can move him. There we go. Okay, so now he is centered. You put the antennas sort of splayed out like that. And there you can see that antenna is on the floor of the cabin, and that wire is not going to bother anything right there. Okay, so I think that puts everything in place. These two are for the ailerons, and they'll just hang loose until we put the ailerons in. I don't think those are going to go anywhere. And the wires are well above all of the servos, so they won't get in the way. Our switch is working, although I might just make sure those wires stay over here. And I am happy with what I see. Okay, so I think those are in place. Thank you.